Hey everyone, it's Dr. Miller. Uh, I guess hopefully you've missed the videos. Happy Sunday slash early Monday. Yeah, so what we're gonna do right now is jump right into our collaborative writing assignment. I figured I would just talk you through this the way I would in class, then I'll show you what the Google Doc looks like and give you a sense of comfort and control over the next couple of weeks in our class. So knock on wood. I should have your graded work from the first pass through of notes journals to return to you soon. So yay. All right, there's no notes journals for this particular assignment, and you're going to learn. So it's a collaborative writing assignment. This is new, this is experimental. This is a way to get you all in a senior seminar frame of mind where it's collaborative and we all learn from each other. And it's not about, how do I produce the best essay? It's about your thinking. And hopefully that will come across. And so I'll go through it now. So this unit asks you to engage with recent works about crime, policing, and prisons as a group with other students in the class, and I will be there too. I'm really excited about this kind of thing, so I will be there to help. That will hopefully benefit us all. So we're going to write an essay together as a group. Will it be great? Maybe. Will it be a learning experience? Yes. So you're going to read sections from The New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander, and you're going to watch the Netflix drama, which is, I think it's technically called a limited series. So there's a few 1-hour episodes because you couldn't just make a 2-hour movie, but you also couldn't make a, several season TV show about it. So in the middle, we get these kinds of things. And that's by Ava DuVernay. So you're going to apply text skills to writing in an English department. We're going to be doing some stuff in Google Docs with annotating. This is pretty real world writing, so that's exciting. You're going to assess your understanding of class concepts and materials and get used to some collaborative writing. It's okay if this is uncomfortable. Reach out to me. We'll talk about it. I'm here to help you through it. So better to do it now when you're in college than at some other uncomfortable time when the pressure is on in a different way. So this here is the link to our Google Doc, which I will show you in a second. I have a 7-step procedure and a suggested timeline because people need some guidance when it is something unfamiliar. So we're there. We're doing it. Here, I'm going to drink a sip of water. Rock on. So you'll read the reading, you'll watch the series. If you want additional context, there is a lot of it out there because this was a very famous court case when it happened. The group of boys who are the center of When They See Us were originally referred to as the Central Park Five, and the case was originally called the Central Park Jogger case as well. So if you Google those terms, you will find a lot of information about them online. Without giving you too many spoilers, they are not referred to as the Central Park Five anymore. As you read and watch, make notes. What seems unusual, what stands out, what kind of visuals do we get about the people in these in the show. And also, as you're reading, like what are some examples that stand out? Even works that are social science or history type works include examples of human beings and their experiences. Those aren't literature in the way that we necessarily think of them, but just like you learned with the Foucault, they're very vivid stories. Which people, notes, or characters seem important and why. If you're the kind of person who likes to just type down quotes, you're going to be a major MVP when it comes to this project. If you have a good quotes file, that'll be really helpful. Especially when it comes to DuVernay, because if you've ever written about film, one of the most not super fun things to do is to try and figure out where someone said a thing that you remember. So if you happen to get it at the time, you're awesome. So write down the timestamp of whenever that was. So, when you're kind of ready to go over there, or even if you're not, if you're like me and you just kind of want to see what the lay of the land is, the way you flip through a book before you read all of it sometimes, especially a nonfiction book. Go on over to the Google Doc and check in. So you can edit as you watch or read. You can wait till you're done, whatever you like. If you wait a while, just know that other people are probably going to be there and the conversation might have gone in a particular direction. If that doesn't bother you, that's totally fine. If you're the person, there's a good way for every sort of person to benefit from this. If you're someone who kind of wants to take somebody's idea and run with it, that's awesome. If you're the kind of person who sort of has an inner CEO ideas type personality, there's a place for that too. So this is kind of awesome. I have a few prompts written to get you started. I'm not going to just give you a blank document and say, hi, here's no direction. Everyone write a paper. Bye. So these are the kinds of brainstorming and idea generating invention questions that I would come up with in a usual writing environment. It's things like, what seemed unusual about this? What seemed unusual about that? What kinds of things would you want to make an argument about? And this is where you can get kind of messy with it. I mean, creativity is not always tidy. It's okay if you're not unsure. If you ask, or if you are unsure, you can go on there and say, hey, I really didn't get this particular scene. Let's talk about that. And that's where arguments and ideas start to form. I have a question there about what are some focusing questions we could ask. One that I always ask is, why this, why now? And I think the DuVernay definitely lends itself to that. Why this story? Why today? And even that on its own could give us an argument of sorts, or at least the start of an argument. So a pattern will emerge, and if it doesn't, we'll just find one to go with, and that'll be okay. Because you don't have an intense commitment to it. That's the thing. If you're co-authoring, you'll write a section, and you can write a section. What will be our focusing question? How will we answer it as in the form of a thesis or argument? What are our priorities? And so somebody who's like, oh, you know what? I really want to work on my ability to write conclusions. Can I write the conclusion? Somebody else is like, you know what? I always like intros. So you could write the intro. And everyone can help each other with editing and things like that, or feedback, etc. There's quite a few of you. So this is going to be a good size paper. I think that's really awesome. However you want to divide and conquer is okay by me. I'm going to be there the whole time. We'll be on Slack. We can check in. It's going to be fine. I'll pitch in if something goes wrong. I mean, that's the thing. We can all edit. I can go in and help. So by the end of the month, so end of September, I'm going to give some feedback and make decisions based just on what we've done. I'm not going to say, everything has to be 10 pages by this or 5 pages by that. No, that's not fair to anybody. If we are almost done, when I go through and I read it, I'll say, well, okay, why don't we take a little more time and polish and edit this thing, and we'll have a little virtual celebration. Maybe we'll turn it into a panel for the undergraduate conference, which is a virtual conference in spring. We could do a really nice job with it. If it's like we've realized we want to write a whole book about Ava DuVernay, which sounds great because I would totally read that, we might need to just kind of call it a day because we're not going to write 100 pages. So it's experimental, but I think that's a good thing in this context of teaching a class like Senior Seminar online. we're going to learn things. That's the most important thing. You're going to get a good grade as long as you do this stuff. You know, do you go in there? Do you answer the questions? Do you write something for it? Like that's, you know, so if you're the kind of person whose experience with group projects has been mildly phobic, I think you'll feel comforted by this. You know, a lot of this class is about completing things successfully. You know, when we get to the final paper, I think, you know, if you're somebody who's more comfortable with more traditional grading of, you know, paper quality, then, you know, congrats, I guess. But for this, because it's experimental, I can't hold you to some kind of evil standards. I mean, I'm just going to hold you to interesting and effort-worthy standards. So, you know, hopefully that will be freeing and enjoyable. So suggested timeline, since this does seem a bit loosey-goosey, you're going to finish watching and making notes on Alexander and Duvernay over the next week. Just kind of get that all done this week. No notes journal assignment, but you're going to be making notes anyway. That might help. You're going to answer the main questions on the Google Doc kind of around the time you finish that. I put the 20th through the 23rd. If you did all this in the last couple days or this weekend, just go now. Start having fun with it. Narrow down the topic you'll be addressing in the essay. You can organize this on Slack as well. You know, I put 923 through 927 as an example for that. You're going to write a paragraph or section of the essay, depending on how everybody wants to do things. Collaboratively, if desired. Like, if you just collaborate with one person and you come up with kind of a dinky, sad paragraph, don't do that. Come on, you can do better. So just, you know, keep your mind on that. No formal length requirement, and we're going to edit time permitting. I can't do a formal length requirement with 15 people. Like, is it 15 pages? Maybe. Is it 10 really good type pages? Also maybe. Is it 5 pages? Probably not, but I don't know. We'll find out what you do. And then, so finally, once you've done your thing, you know, help a friend out. You know, do a pass through for clarity, continuity, and transitions. You know, if somebody's not able to do it, you reach out to them, reach out to me. Don't take on extra stuff. Like, you don't have to be the group project hero of forever. Maybe that person needs to do something later in the semester. They won't get full credit, but they'll get it all done. That's fine. Like, it's okay. You know, don't do things that are unfair to you. You deserve fairness. Don't dirty delete. I mean, if things get a little wild in there, I'll come in and help. Just flag me down. Minor changes are a great idea. You know, if I have a typo or screw up an apostrophe, come in and correct me. I feel like all of us want that. If there's a section of writing and you're thinking about taking it out, don't just like get rid of it forever. Try and cut and paste it at the end of the essay and then just message the person whose writing it is, or I can do that if you contact me and just say, hey, this wasn't fitting here. Can we figure out a place to move it, etc. So that's the overall assignment. And now I'm going to show you the Google Doc. So here it is, and the link is in there. You'll notice that it automatically saves. If you need some advice for how to use Google Docs, there are tutorials available. I can post a good site that gives you some overview. There's a couple of ways to comment, just to be kind of, you know, give you once over. Look, do you like that it says English 4384 class? Because it's a group author. Exciting. You know, here are places to comment. You can just highlight it and click this little plus type button, and then that will help you do that. You can click on my comment and respond to me. You'll see you just type directly in here. You can use your initials at the end if you want. It'll also give you examples of what your ideas are, of the fact that you've edited it if you're logged in on your West Georgia account. So yeah. So here we are. Just keep pushing. Just have fun. I'm going to go in there and manage it as kind of like your team manager here. And we'll learn a lot about important ideas from these works and from your writing. Thank you.